one true AK MMR if possible here. So it looks like the draft is getting ready to get loaded up as players hop in. They got this wonderful setup where they have booths far across from each other's teams. Don't even want to have to see each other at that point. A glorious stage on hand. And what do you think, guys? What's going to be the signature grabs here? We talk about how unique both these teams are with their hero pool, but right out the gate, what are the more secured picks? You got like your Darkseers, your Embers, Tusks, Undying.
Slardar as well.
Slardar as well. So what do you think? Who's going to get the prize grab at the start here? I know that's a lot into the first pick, as you can see now, draft underway. It looks like first pick is going to be going to Virtus.Pro here. So what's going to be the 1-2 punch for Secret to make sure they eliminate off the table?
I wouldn't say it's a prize grab, but I think the focus will be on the off-lane drafts. You have Misery's Slaughter, who has been doing amazing. Did drop 2 games yesterday, though, so I'm not sure if the confidence is a little bit shaken up for them.
Both teams plays the Broodmother.
They do play the Broodmother. That's another off-lane pick. And I gotta say, Spirit Breaker for Virtus.Pro really fits their playstyle. They like to be aggressive. They like to be in there. And I'm wondering if that's going to be an early pick. It's definitely been an early ban in this tournament so far.
Yeah, however, there's one thing to note. VP sometimes they pick their draft around very heavy single target focus.
They do.
When that happens, the meeple might be something that their draft cannot handle at all.
I would love to see Secret open up the very first match here in the playoff run with a Meepo. It looks like, though, Virtus.Pro are going to be getting rid of the Lich. They get rid of the Ember. Team Secret rid of that pesky Doom. And Queen of Pain's got to go. And that means the first pick, we're going to be in for a treat here. It's the G Shadow Fiend here. One of the best Shadow Fiends you could ask for.
And it's also a Radiant Shadow Fiend, but the Broodmother is still available in the pool. So maybe if Secret doesn't go for it, there's still a chance that VP might want to go back for it if they feel it's possible for them.
Okay, I know we're early into the picks, but I gotta bring something up that has nothing to do with the picks.
Okay.
I think walking into this series today for Team Secret,
10
the thing
seconds
they have to
remaining.
focus on the most is making sure that all their players bring their A game. If you look at like a
5
team like
seconds
Virtus.Pro,
remaining.
everybody plays well from game to game. For Team Secret, sometimes we have struggles a bit. Sometimes Misery struggle a bit. I think yesterday he had a 3-5, 3-9 performance on Slaughter. MV struggles a bit depending on the picks and the heroes he gets. So I think for me the most important thing is everybody showing up to play for Team Secret.
Yeah,
because when everybody shows up to play, they're one of the best teams in the world.
Envy is not afraid to sacrifice sometimes his own farm or his own life as a carry to make sure that his team actually pulls through the team fight. He's not afraid to make the first move and die, but his team secures the team fight.
Yeah.
So Secret will be opening up with the Slardar, as mentioned, and the Wind Ranger here. So we know Weehad to have, as of recent, flexing his hero pool quite a bit, but Wind Ranger has been his number 2, I'd say, overall in recent performances. So they're securing their mid lane. Is this showing Secret's hand maybe a bit too early, leading off with 2 cores like this, not stepping off and just kind of securing a good support? They're just willing to put it out there that this is going to be an off-lane Slardar and a mid-lane Wind Ranger.
It might be a support Slardar. Obviously,
Reserve time.
Have the Slardar on the support position when they want to fit in another off-laner or even in the safe lane sometimes. So I would say the Slardar pick doesn't mean that he's going to be on the off-lane for sure. There are still options available for the hero.
We saw Envy playing the Wind Ranger on the safe lane as well, so it's not 100%. It's likely to be the Slardar off lane, likely to be the Wind Ranger mid, but I mean, I think we can even see teams playing the support Wind Ranger from time to time. So
that was one game from
Q.
Yeah,
Q.
Q played a Wind Ranger in the off lane with a Clockwork.
There you go.
It was just heavy nukes on that safe laner. They did not like that.
I think the strength of these 2 opening picks are, you don't know.
That's true. There is flexibility there.
They might be thinking about the Broodmother pick, which is why they are using up a lot of time here.
I want to say one of their matches not long ago, they did open up with the second pick Brood, but it didn't work out so well for them. But they're not going to go for the Brood now. They're going to get the Tusk here. So you get your Bruiser, you get your early momentum hero, your Initiator, your setup. There is still an Undying out there if they want to go back to that dynamic duo.
It's also your defensive hero when the Slardar and Wind Ranger, they are focusing on one target. You have the Snowball to actually help out your teammate. So it's not all offensive about the Tusk. It's also about the defensive capabilities it provides for your team.
It feels like the Tusk just does it all, right? He's an initiator.
What a great hero.
He's a zoner. He's a support. He's offline. He does everything. And I think right now Team Secret is having nightmares because yesterday, LGD's Tusk really gave him a huge run, right? It was one of the best Tusk forms I've seen.
The only thing the hero doesn't do is push down towers quickly.
Yeah. That would be too unfair at that point. Now, a peculiar ban here that always gets me a bit percolated is the ban on the AA.
10 seconds remaining.
That makes me believe that, are they going to try to creep in something like an Alchemist, heavy sustain?
5 seconds remaining.
Alchemist and Husker are weak versus Slardar. Heavy minus armor and heavy physical
Reserve
damage.
time.
Those heroes are not very good versus the Slardar and Wind Ranger.
Yeah, one of the
Dire
picks
team
that
pick.
Virtus.Pro did lose with in the group stage was a Huskar, so maybe they're trying to set it up
Ooh.
by banning out the AA.
Illidan Huskar.
Yeah, but it's not very good versus the M damage and focus fire.
That
You
is
think so?
true. That
Yeah.
is true.
Hey.
I think AA is just becoming one of those supports that you can't really sleep on. A lot of teams, I think VP runs it quite a bit. They ran the AA Rubik Venge tri-lane.
Even sometimes teams use the Ice Blast
10
as
seconds
like heavy
remaining.
pressure on a single target gank hero like a Nyx or even a SB. It makes the
5
hero
seconds
so
remaining.
threatening when you have that Ice Blast coming in.
What about that DDC triple kill Ice Blast yesterday? That was out of control. but-
Reserve time.
Now we look back to Secret here. This is coming off of that AA ban we were talking about. The Dazzle had to go. Secret got rid of the Darkseer and also took care of the Broodmother here. Now we look to see if Secret want to kind of pick up some of their backstaff. A little bit of support potential here. You know, maybe even the Puppy hero. Puppy is also one of those few support players that's still not afraid to even go into the jungle. He's shown that he's happy to pull out the Enchantress, a Chen maybe from time to time. What do you think about the viability maybe in this opening match that they could, you know, be a bit more greedy with that support?
I think the supports that Secret need to look to go for this game is something that has a stun that goes through BKB because
Okay.
SF is going to rely on his BKB to channel the Requiem. So as a support, you want to have a stun all the time to actually be able to control.
Wow.
Okay, that
That's a
didn't take
quick
much thought.
response.
Yeah, they get the Undying, which we know what Undying is able to offer, and it could
the song
maybe a minor
immediately
deny
to
pick.
counter the Tombstone.
Yeah. Song, we kill your tombstone. I think when I see Misery struggle on the Slaughter is when he's trying to be the solo initiator for the team. When Puppy, yesterday, one of the draft, they had Wisp and Enchantress. These heroes are not exactly known for the disables. And I'd like to see Team Secret, like Winter pointed out, draft a little bit more stun, back up the
10
Slaughter a
seconds
bit. You don't want the
remaining.
Slaughter to jump in and crush, and then he looks towards his teams like, okay,
5
who's my
seconds
secondary
remaining.
initiator? Undying's not that. Undying's going to drop
Yeah.
a tombstone
They
and help
have
you
the
out a bit.
Shaker shot though this game.
That's true. I think
Reserve time.
I would feel comfortable if they have one more, you know, like a nice disable.
It feels like Secret are putting together a lineup that really is going to thrive on long-winded fights, getting off multiple amp damages, possibly multiple crushes, you know, a good shackle shot lockdown. Of course, we want lots of decays happening there.
I actually like Spirit Breaker with their lineup as well. Like Spirit Breaker, Undying, very aggressive. Then you have to slide on the safe lane, Green Ranger mid. Then you have a lot of small skirmish power. You have a lot of gank potential. You can be very aggressive. You don't really need to wait for anyone to farm a certain item. It's just waiting for the blink to come for the slaughter. Then you're ready to go. You can take Roshan, you can get a kill anywhere, and you can push a tower with Undying and the focus fire from Green Ranger. So overall, their heroes look really good with the Spirit Breaker.
You wouldn't be too nervous that that would be too invested in a lot of melee, and they could be at risk of kiting around and kind of, you know, not being able to get into the fight. Like, let's say Virtus.Pro decide to pick up a Clockwork and shove this Tusk over maybe a 4
Hello,
position.
1, 2, 3,
Could
4,
that
5.
prove to be a
1, 2, 3,
little
this is
bit of
Merlini,
trouble
the
for
guy
you?
on the left. I'm the guy on the right. I'm ODPixel.
10 seconds remaining.
You have Spirit Breaker plus Green Ranger, so you can actually pressure the Shadow King a lot.
5
I just
seconds
personally feel
remaining.
Like when I see the support, they can actually keep ganking the SF in the
Radiant team pick.
Team Secret burned through most of their clock to decide on the Gyrocopter here. You know, it's been an NV tried and true back at 6.84.
So this is going to tell us that the Slaughter is more or less going to be
Spirit
off-lane
Breaker.
or a support position. It's not going to be on
Dire
lane.
team ban.
Well,
So the
this
SB is coming up on VP instead.
Tusk Spirit Breaker. That's pretty
Bruiser.
scary. Yeah, the linebacker. They're going to be up in the face of Team Secret here. But the one thing is they don't have a lot of synergy with the Naga song.
10
Some teams like
seconds
to invest a bit
remaining.
more into building around the song. Maybe they could follow it up with like a disruptor or something. I
5
would like to see
seconds
them kind of
remaining.
build around that a bit instead of just be a strict defensive song or a song just to get rid of
Dire
Tombstone.
team
I think
pick.
song setting up a Requiem of Souls is already pretty good, right?
Hey,
Like,
that's nice.
Applying that minus 50% damage reduction to the whole team. I'm just happy that VP picked up Spirit Breaker. They have an 82% win rate with this hero.
Woo!
If you gotta just talk numbers, that's pretty good for me.
That's really good. I like Secret. They give the nod to VP and they ban out that silencer. No crafty Illidan picks here, though. Hey, Vengeful Spirit's out there, and can't really put it too far
10
past them.
seconds remaining.
Secret, they are going to be the ones to get the last pick here. I'm imagining this should be the Puppy
Puppy
hero.
hero, yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
If they're anticipating a Naga to be a core, maybe Enchantress could be used to deal with the
Visage.
Ooh.
Oh, a
This
Visage.
is like a pick and a block.
Radiant
Little Hardy
team pick.
really loves that Visage. Very good on the hero, but Secret will pick it up themselves.
Yeah, it's a good way to deal with the song because when you sleep and you want to initiate with the SF, when the SF doesn't BKB, you have the familiars to drop and stun the SF. Because the familiars don't get affected by the song.
Also adds to their hefty siege along with Focus Fire, the familiar birds. They can take down structures pretty fast.
It's so scary. The familiars, not only that, can also protect the tombstone. So the tombstone is going
10
to be
seconds
really hard to
remaining.
take down with the call down plus the familiars.
Quite a bit of burst damage.
5 seconds
You
remaining.
can shred through the high armor heroes like Shadow Fiend, Naga, Spirit Breaker. So VP, we are still
Reserve
not sure what
time.
the last pick is because Naga could be that support, could be the core. Which side are you guys leaning on this Naga?
I feel like Illidan would be a bit rusty to play the Naga. I have not seen it in a
Core
while.
Naga feels like the tempo might be too slow because Team Secret is not going to play a slow-paced game. They're going to be very fast-paced with their heroes, with the Undying, the Visage. When you get your levels, when you have call down on Jaya, you're going to be looking to fight and fight and fight. And you won't be giving VP time to actually farm. So a core Naga might be something that's too risky to run on this stage.
Well, we'll see here. Virtus.Pro thinking about that last potential grab. They've already committed a lot in the melee department here. I don't foresee the repeat of the G Shadow Fiend Illidan Weaver combo. Not in this matchup. I think it's a bit too scary with the amount of disable that already Secret have thrown together.
You like the Venge here?
No,
Vengeful
when they
Spear.
pick Venge, they pick a lot of kind of early active support.
10
like
seconds
roam and get
remaining.
kills. And I guess Tusk and Naga could be that.
5 seconds remaining.
Could be it. They also synergize quite well with the Mind's Armor. It's going to be
Lady
a
Lena. Going to be the final grab here.
A faster pace carry.
Hello,
That's what
yeah.
sexy lady.
Hefty burst as well. Ooh. What do you think, gentlemen? That's the 5-man spread from both sides. Early predictions. Do you have a favorite to one side or the other? The crushing manpower of Team Secret? Or do you think Virtus.Pro with the Bruisers, with the Naga, and now the Lena, are they going to be able to etch out the first victory?
I'm leaning a bit towards more to the Gyrocopter plus the minus armor from Slaughter since on the higher side. I think they have the slight edge with the Roshan mechanic.
I also think that Spirit Breaker is going to have a harder time fighting ganks, given that your Wind Rangers at the mid lane could get out of harm's way with Wind Run, and the off lane and the safe lane is going to be pretty tough to charge into. I like Team Secret's draft a little bit more.
We're going to have to see if that's going to be the case or not. Just a reminder that these matches will be a best of 3 in the
10
upper
seconds
bracket.
remaining.
And I'm sure that just leading off today with a big win is going to be a morale boost for
5
either
seconds
team.
remaining.
And as the game does get started, let's go ahead and throw it over to our casters now to lead things off. We're going to have Mr. ODPixel and Ben Merlini. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much, Dakota, and a big welcome to everyone tuning in at home and everyone that's come down to the venue today. The game has begun, so let's get into game 1 between VP and Secret. And Ben, Illidan Lena is coming out today.
I think 3 people TP'd before the creep spawn. See Tusk on the top, Undying in the mid, and go to Lil on the bottom lane. It's pretty crazy. Oh, doesn't see it?
Ooh, that's incredibly unfortunate there. That must be literally just on the edge. They're going to be kicking themselves for that one. See both teams at the moment farming themselves for a bit of action here at the top. Secret going to look to secure the bounty. In terms of the lanes that we've got coming out from both teams, is this what you kind of expected from the draft from both sides?
Yeah, they like to sometimes pull some audibles with the Slardar and the Wind Ranger, but it looks
30
like it's
seconds to battle.
fairly standard for them. I also agree with the analysts. I like Secret's lineup a tiny bit more. I think it's more upbeat. Naga Siren with their 3-minute cooldown ultimate might be way too slow to deal with the Tombstone and the constant onslaught from Secret.
I mean, do you feel, is there going to be a specific lane that's going to be a whitewash favoring a certain side, or do you think they're going to be close across the map?
It's the Undying lane. That's always the lane that you're looking for. They're really able to kind of get out of control and, you know, just constant
The
tower
battle
Tombstone and the charge.
begins.
Every coin helps.
See in a moment, both teams able to secure themselves the bounty rune here for the mid laners. So, I mean, G Shadow Fiend, we were within the game yesterday where we saw him pick it up. This man plays this hero to an absolute T. And we were talking about how well VP kind of work around the Shadow Fiend. We can expect to see the supports getting a lot of stacks up in the jungle. We'll see FNG kind of come towards the mid lane at the start. Maybe try and buy some space for G so we can get up those initial stacks of Necromastery on this hero. But they've got to be energy on the Shadow Fiend Secret. And I mean, what is kind of their answer in terms of dealing with G and making sure he just doesn't spiral out of control in terms of farm?
We'll rely on the get the Undying or Undying to really do a lot. I don't know. They don't have the Scout Shield on the Naga Siren, so it's really hard to actually harass. He's already really, really low. Has farm in the mid lane. We'll see how early. I don't know what they're saving up for. Looks like early.
I mean, let's talk about the Undying and the fact that they put EE on the Jara here as well. It kind of goes to show that Secret, they're going to be looking for that early to mid-game aggression because they don't really want to go late against VP. We've already talked about how well G can transition into the late game with the farm, and the fact that they've also got, of course, this Naga side. You never want to take those risks. Going to miss the Light Strike Array here, unfortunately, for the side of VP, but just trying to harass Misery back. FNG coming out on this top lane as well. Phobos has managed to get a bit of a block into the sideline here with some of the creeps just to slow down the flow. The Pyline's Eye and Puppy getting the second pull
Testing
through
1,
here,
2,
so
3.
managing
Testing
to
1,
maintain
2, 3.
control of the lane.
Okay, man.
Looking for stacks out for VP. I think Secret might look for like a smoke.
Can you hear me?
They often take it down with a tombstone into the later game.
Bottom, look at this positioning here from Illidan, making sure the Misery gets nothing out of the lane here. They're looking for a bash, they're not going to find it. Misery will turn around with the crush, just stem the aggression here, but VP doing a really good job in terms of zoning Misery out of this lane, and this is absolutely key for them. We've seen before how much Misery can get done on the Slardar if he has a good start.
Yeah, no early TPs out on anyone yet, but he's almost out of regen, only one Tango and one Mango left. I think that Secret have to take control of the early game though. They have much better
bottom
rotation
lane, the
control.
bash is coming out to Misery. He'll get the push off though here. Illidan unable to find the light strike there. And again, just Misery having a really hard time. And he's got to go back to base now by the looks of it. He's only got one Tango left on him, so being totally zoned out from this bottom lane, and VP finding a very heavy lane win down on the safe lane.
I wonder whether they're going to get the Lina to start moving. They don't really have a true one. Lina's like decent as well as SF, but it won't compare to the Gyro plus the Wind Ranger combined with the Amplify later. So VP don't necessarily want to take it super late unless the Naga can transition into a farming role, but FNG's really, really poor, so I don't think that's going to be able to happen.
Yeah, at least certainly not anytime soon. I mean, there's always kind of the inevitability that the later it does get, FNG will find some space, but as we said, we can kind of expect to see VP put a lot of eggs into the basket of G, just making sure that he gets those early item pickups and he can offer to the push, and they can group up and start to force the fights against Secret. But at the same time, that's going to be hard against Secret's lineup because they've got really good skirmishing capabilities with heroes like the Undying, like the Gyron. I mean, even if they get a decent timing on the level 6 here on Puppy, he's already found himself level 3 with the side pulls. Just having those familiars out, it's going to make it really hard for the side of Virtus.Pro to fight into Secret in the mid game.
And they don't have no eyes out on Misery. Not really sure what he's doing over here. They can maybe stack Ancients for him, but he's not really able to go back in the lane without any regen, and Undying kind of looking for any sort of pressure from the Naga Siren. Only one level on Shaco though, they can't really do that much, so looks like FNG trying to play the economy game with mirror images everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the side of VP, the fact that we've seen Lil at the moment on this Spirit Breaker pretty much just hang around the bottom lane, zone out Misery, look to create space for Illidan. We're yet to see him really run around that. Misery just coming in with a crush, and it will allow him to steal the bounty rune here from FNG. I mean, at what point do you think we'll see some more kind of aggressive rotations coming out from the Spirit Breaker?
They can kind of wait for a Secret to make the move. I think Secret's going to make the first move though. Maybe once Gyro hits level 6 and TP around. I don't see a TP in his inventory yet, nor does he have phase boots. But ideally you want to kill and invade their jungle like right about like 5 or 6 minutes. That's when Shadow Fiend hits about level 7.
They might go here, Pilot dies, gonna drop down the tombstone. Yeah, he's been a little bit safe here though, doesn't want to dive too aggressively. So we'll just force him back, and FNG has come in as well, just letting him lose his forward to help push the wave back out. But still 5 minutes in, both teams playing fairly carefully, but I think as you said, both teams realize and understand there's going to be a certain point where they can turn up to the fights and take an advantage, and they don't really want to risk anything for the time being and just play it safely here for the very early portion of this game.
Yeah, we already see aggressive item coming out from Illidan. He already has a phase boot, so no like, you know, Soul Ring, Bloodstone rush, and then fight, no Yule's rush. He's, you know, looking to fight a lot early and maybe protect the stack. G's still hasn't taken out yet, still not level 7, but if they want to make a move, they have to make it now.
I mean, the thing is as well, from the side of Secret, I mean, do they really have the capability to test any of the Radiant jungle and head over there? Because the fact that G is going to get this huge kind of burst of income and XP, it's got to be something that Secret are going to be a little bit scared of.
Tombstone, it's fine. They can kind of place it like in the trees over here, as well as the phase boost on level 6 on Gyro. So it's a good time to do so, but unfortunately there's no vision on the side of the Dire side. They like don't have any eyes on where Shadow Fiend is, where his teammates are, and they're going to get hit by the charge pretty hard.
Yeah, and I do really like what Misery's doing here as well. You know, the fact that he didn't have a great time in the bottom lane, so he's kind of utilizing the hero to just help buff up the Gyrocop to get Envy that farm when he's able to clear this out. So this is going to be really nice here for the side of Secret. And looks like
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Misery's making the best of kind of a bad situation here for the Slardar, as he's still sitting at level 2, 6 minutes in.
Wonder where FNG is gonna place his ward. I don't know if they're gonna actually try and contest the stack. Looks like he tried to walk into the Roshan pit, but wasn't actually planning on dropping a ward on the high ground. But both teams just looking to greed and greed. If you're VP, you're comfortable with playing greedily, though. Shadow Fiend takes out Stacks much faster than Wind Ranger, and Undying, like, he's not really that useful unless you get a Scepter, but he's not farming that well, and they're not really able to make use of his early game at all.
Absolutely. I'm talking about farming decently. I mean, DK Phobos here on this offlane. He's managed to find level 5 on the Tusk, so having a lot better time, of course, in comparison to Misery. But we talked about the Slardar in previous games, the fact that, you know, teams have started to realize you can utilize this hero very effectively without really necessarily needing an early timing on the blink tag. It's just hitting level 6, having that amplify can just offer so much to team fights in terms of also taking the early Roshan. We know that Secret, they do like to favor the Dire side, and they do like to utilize the fact that Rosh is going to be easier to take, and having a Slardar in your lineup is just going to make that so much easier when it comes to the point that E is going to have the damage to go for the Rosh attempt.
This is like a showing of just who has the bigger stacks. Stacks on stacks
Pretty
on
much.
stacks on stacks. I guess that's one reason to pick Naga Siren.
Starting the LAN pretty much with a very calm game at the moment. 7 minutes in, no first blood. Phobos just coming in with the Ice Shards here, but Pilot Die is going to give him the runaway, and Ministry's actually made the rotation up to this top lane as well, so totally leaving the bottom one open here for Illidan. Illidan on 50 CS, 27 denies at the moment, but at the same time, even though Envy has had to deal with the fact that there's been the Tusk constantly in this offlane, he still found the equivalent amount of farm. Obviously back in the jungle, clearing up the stacks has allowed him to keep on par with Illidan. It's just going to be a question really who can be more active on
Dire's
those
middle
second
tower
heroes,
is
whether
under
it's going to
attack.
be Illidan on the Lina, or if it is going to be Envy on that Jara.
Yeah, everyone has their ultimates, the important core heroes. Secret has this like really aggressive war in the top lane, so that's probably their first round.
Top lane here, we're going to see Puppy try and set something up with the familiar stunts, gets the Brave Shield as well, and the other side, and then the Beautiful Blade comes out with a TP from Illidan. That's your first blood here for the position 1 of VP. Misery comes out with a crush, VP will try and chase it, but they can't quite get Misery. Pulled out from Envy as he turns up, he's found one, he's found two! It's a double kill for the man, there'll be a charge through onto Weehaw here. The Familiar's
Dire's
chasing back
bottom
FNG.
tower is under
G is
attack.
turned up as well here, Envy's going to move forward, but he's out of mana, can't find anything else. So VP do find the first blood, but the side of Secret turning that around very nicely and getting a double kill for Envy on the Gyrocopter. Absolutely huge there for the Dire.
FNG just placed his ward here. I'm surprised they got caught by the Gyrocopter with his call down. That thing is so brutal to deal with, and I think 3 heroes got hit by that. Nicely played by Secret. A lot of TPs coming out to that area, but Secret had the advantage because they had this observer ward. They can kind of see how many people VP are going to throw at that fight.
Oh.
Dire's middle tower is under
Take
attack.
down one of the familiars here from Puppy. He's still got 90 seconds on the resummon, so nicely done there with the Warrior's Punch. Just trying to shut down how useful Puppy can be here with those familiars. Bottom lane, Misery, realizing that VP's been a bit all over the map. Coming back into lane, halfway through level 4 now as well, so just trying to get that level 6. And we are also getting a bit of space mid. G's backed off into the jungle. There was also that fight where G did TP up top, wasn't able to find anything for himself, so. And Weehaw kind of needs this, because if you look at the CS difference because of these Shadow Fiend stacks, it's crazy. I mean, he's got about 3 times the CS of this Wind Ranger.
Yeah, but I think that they wanted a Naga Siren to get some levels too.
Dire's
Ideally, you want to
top
wait until
tower
a
is
Naga
under
Siren
attack.
level 6 until you fight like a level 7 Undying, because then you just sleep, you kill the Tombstone, and then you kind of proceed from there. But she wasn't able to get any of the experience in the last fight, nor any experience from the stacks, which she was kind of just spent her whole early game doing with a level 1 in Mirror Image.
At the moment, Puppy just coming out to the bottom. He's got the backup here of Pylite Die. And top lane, a bit of farm being given to Misery. They switched him up to the top. Envy at the moment. He's going to make his way over to this part of the map, and if they can get this is going to be a very nice amount of income for Envy. And in terms of the net worth 10 minutes in, you can see already just 1k behind. Top lane, nearly getting Misery. Misery's going to be forced back here, as Lil and Phobos did try and make a go on him. But yeah, this is huge for the side of Secret, as they should be able to get this as well with the Tombstone zombies tanking it up. And Jar are going to get a huge influx of gold and XP from this.
Yeah, I mean, both teams seem pretty content. They're pretty confident in their late game, which is, I think, a little bit surprising. Secret have better super late, but they have Undying, who's going to be dead weight. And then VP, again, without the Naga transitioning into a core, I don't really foresee them having that great of a late game.
Oh, Phobos just gets the kill onto Misery. He came back into the lane, and Phobos was there ready and waiting. Just jumped straight back in. And that's going to be a second kill on the board here for VP, and getting that XP and the gold onto Phobos is going to be pretty big if he's able to get a decent timing on the blink. especially if he's able to kind of close the gap in on heroes like Gyro, who at the moment just sitting on 891 HP. They're still very, very vulnerable to being bursted down by the heroes on the side of Virtus.Pro.
I think that's okay, sacrificing your Slaughter's life, but he might also be dead weight too because he's not anywhere close to his Blink Dagger timing.
This is a bit of an issue. The fact that VP now, they'll take themselves a free tower in the top lane. G with the double damage, making short work of it. And they're going to move forward for more here. He's got the backup of Illidan. Laguna Blade is ready and waiting. So it's a question really what Secret want to do in turn. They've got a couple of heroes mid. They could try and force something out here. But G making maximum use of this DD. He's taken down one tower, fortification coming out, but he's going to stand ground and continue to hit. They've got Weehar coming in, just spamming out the power shot, and it seems to be enough to scare off G and Illidan as they'll play it safe and back up. Just aware that Secret might look for something on the back of this and see if they can catch out anyone on the side of VP on the retreat.
I mean, there's smoke, but it's only the Undying and the Gyro. They have no catch. They can like tombstone and run at them with the zombie, but that's not really going to be able to actually catch anyone. I think ideally they're maybe looking for a big stack, but everything's already been taken down besides this minor 2-stack. Already scouting out with the familiars. Maybe looking for an easy kill on G.
Ooh, this could be a big kill as well. G at the moment, top of the net worth. They'll find him here. The cooldown coming in as well. The familiar stance from Puppey, holding him under the burst damage, the cooldown, and they'll get themselves a nice and easy kill there onto G, who was all on his own. At the same time, there was a bit of a push going on the top lane here by both Lil and Illidan, but they don't find the tower. Secret's there with the defense, and yeah, this is big for the side of Secret. It's allowing Envy to close back in on G, you know, with the amount of fun that he's been getting with those stacks and getting himself back on top of the board here with the gyrocopter.
That was sick Visage micro or Gargoyle micro from Puppey right there. They had no way to like catch him. Like maybe you can drop a call down. They had no vision behind there, so kind of knowing that they're just gonna try and farm up in their own jungle. That's a free tower too with a big kill like that.
Yeah, I think in a lot of these fights as well, when we start to see both teams attend with the full 5-man, it's going to be down to Puppey to get these Visage familiar stuns on heroes like the Naga and like the Tusk, you know, heroes that are going to be able to save the rest of the team. And if Puppey's able to do that, Secret are going to have a good chance of taking the fights, and with VP unable to do anything in return to stop it.
The Visage is a really good pick versus the Naga Siren.
Yeah.
I kind of overlooked that in the draft, but you can easily stop the sleep TPs with good Visage micro.
Yeah,
so
that's true as well.
That's
yeah.
actually really important because I think that VP, it looks like they're just trying to play just more and more economy.
Yeah, I mean, this is not really kind of the VP CIS aggression that we've been seeing from them recently. They're certainly taking a bit of a safer bet this game. I mean, it's understandable with the kind of heroes they've got in the terms that they've got that late game potential. And, well, Lil, Charge is going to get cancelled. You've got Envy moving in as well. He's going to look for the TP. Is there going to be anything to cancel in time? Yes, there will be. They'll get the kill. Laguna Blade coming out from Illidan. He's trying to turn it, but Illidan's got to get himself out of there. He's all on his own. He'll turn around. He will be able to use up the Wind Ranger. They're going to continue to chase him here, looking for it. They've got the Amplifier Misery chasing down with a sprint. Is there going to be any reactions from the rest of the side of VP? Now it looks like they're just going to leave him for dead, and a beautiful power shot from Weehar. Absolutely on point there from the man. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Envy's all alone, and Envy, well, he's going to lose his life here. He came into the mid lane, there was 3 heroes on the side of VP, and after they find a tower, they do find a kill, so both of the position ones being taken down. Envy with kind of the higher bounty on his head as well, so VP are going to be pretty happy with that trade, I think.
I'm not really sure why he wanted to cast the homing missile there. That's kind of what gave his positioning away in defending the T1 tower over there. But no mech on the side of VP. Maybe a little bit scared to take a fight. It looks like, I guess Phobos might be building one with his early ring. But we see a lot of economic items.
Yes, yeah, it does look like he's working towards that. I mean, G at the moment, even though they have managed to, they just got the kill down bottom, he's not actually been involved in any kills himself. Just going for this passive farming game plan. It's still keeping him at the top of the net worth. He's closing in on picking up that S and Y next as well. And yeah, this is the thing, FNG was 7. He's got the song set up. They've also got backup as well from the rest of the side here. VP, seeing what they can achieve down here. Going to be able to take down this sentry here from the side of Secret. And Secret actually, in a bit of a precarious position. Bottom lane, Misery is going to reveal himself, and we'll see if VP can do anything about this. He's going to go for the straight TP out, realizes that he's in a very vulnerable position, and plays it safe, gets himself out of the disaster that could have been VP crashing straight into it.
But just kind of scouting out with Familiar, scouting out with Power Shot, scouting out with Naga Illusions. Both teams kind of hesitant to make a move. Both of these teams have like pretty explosive Roche lineups, so I'm not terribly surprised that they're trying to take it easy a little bit. Gyrocopter kind of get that large HP pool versus the Lina. Same with Shadow Fiend, going for the S and Y first.
Yeah, I mean, Envy as well. He's closing in on potentially getting that BKB. He just needs the money for the recipe, and they're going to be able to clear out this stack. That was actually it was just stacked there by G on the Shadow Fiend, so actually ending up helping the side of Secret with the stack that he created. Maybe he felt that they could try and contest, but it looks like VP are just going to let this one go. It's just going to be a continual influx of gold here for Secret. I mean, you look at the graphs at the moment, it's very, very close between these two teams just 16 minutes in. No one really breaking away in terms of farm, and that's what this game's pretty much all been about at the moment, 17 minutes in. It's all about the farm on these two key heroes. Obviously, Secret prioritizing Gyro, and the side of VP, as we were saying from the early game, they're going to be prioritizing G. And at the moment, it's slightly favoring G, but it's incredibly close between these two cores.
Super unusual that Misery went for the Force Staff first. He could have easily bought the Blink, but deciding that's a little bit more valuable for him, maybe trying to save people from Snowball as well. And maybe, I don't know, versus the...
Ooh, coming in with the smoke. They're going to find Illidan here. They've got a homing missile coming in as well. The Familiar Stuns holding FNG back. Beautiful micro from Puppey, which means there's going to be no song to save Illidan. FNG now, he's going to get the song out. We'll see if VP can do something to turn. G's trying to move in here. He's going to look to maybe set up a Requiem, and here we go. Straight on top, but it's a bit early. The timing is off. The corner comes out, and now Secret trying to fight for the sidelines. They found Lil, they found Phobos, and now Puppey with the stuns on FNG. They'll find it again. Puppey with the Familiar micro, setting up a team wipe, and my God, this man's Visage performance absolutely on point. He starts it off by keeping FNG out of the fight, and then when the song comes out, he follows up by getting the stuns through, and he does lose his life, but he does it for the greater good, and off the back of it, Secret are going to get Roshan.
I'm surprised that VP went for that sort of fight. They were down Alina, and even like the song Requiem, let's say it had connected, it would have only taken out the Visage at the start, which is not that big of a deal because he still has his birds. So I'm actually super surprised that they went for that, and now it means a 5-man wipe in a Roche. So now what do they have to do until the late game? Secret can keep pressuring with the Song of the Siren not up, and their position when Alina has only gotten 1 kill 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this is an issue here for Illidan.
It's very, very foreboding for VP's late game.
Anyway. No. It's a look at this replay, Ben. It's beautiful with the music as well. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that production. I enjoyed that. I've got to be honest. Looks like we're keeping the music as well, just to keep the spirits here. I know. Okay. Rip music. Anyway, back to the game. 10 for 4 at the moment for the side of Secret. I want to have a look at the graph, Ben. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Straight up 3K. That's a bit of a swing here for the side of Secret. And I mean, as you were saying before, kind of describing the two teams, VP, they're not, if they get ahead, you know, which you'd expect them to do so, they do throw a little bit more than Secret. So the fact that Secret are already ahead, it's going to be hard for VP to get themselves back into this one. It's going to be all about G, but now after that fight, you know, he's 1K behind Envy on this Gyro. Envy's going to be able to find some more Ancients here. And with that gold as well, he's got it on the courier.
Yeah, generally you want to press your early economic advantage with the Radiant Shadow Fiend, right? You farm up your stacks, you get like a 10-minute mech, and then you can take a team fight out pretty early. But it seemed like they didn't really feel confident with the components of their lineup. I think mostly the delayed Song of the Siren level 6. But like even Illidan too, going for the early phase boost. Phase boost you don't really need in lane. You can just straight go for a little bit of mana regen to farm up the jungle. But it didn't seem like their early game plan was really on the same page, especially with the Tusk and Spirit Breaker. You want to kind of look for fights around the map. I think that Misery played very cautiously, though.
Oh, this shackle from Wii onto G, and Lilia in the tree line as well. They'll throw out the net. Secret will see if they can fight this one. There's 5 heroes on the side of VP all around. Misery forcing himself forward, won't find anyone with the crush, but now they get the Familiar Stones from Puppey onto Lil. The shackle shot to follow up as well. That's going to be the Spirit Breaker down. Illidan trying to turn around with the Lunar Blade on Misery, and will find the return kill. So 1 for 1. Out comes the song, but Puppey, he's still got the Familiars out. They haven't got their second stuns yet off cooldown, but nonetheless, they'll be used to try and take down the Sigil, and it's just going to be a song to get the side of VP out of there. It's just a 1-1 trade at the moment. VP, do they go back in? The forts come out on this tier 1. Phobos is going to have the snowball in a few seconds. We'll see if he leads in. The shards coming out. Not going to be able to quite trap people out on the side of Secret. They're going to have the net onto Weeheart. G coming in as well. And see what we can do. The shackles kept FNG back. And here's EE moving in onto Illidan. Chasing down the lead. The snowball will come through. But now Phobos, he's stuck between the entire team. EE pops the BKB. Looking for G. Can he find it? He should be able to know. Yes, he does. He will get G. But the Requiem ends up killing the lean on the sidelines. It's a double kill for EE. And Weeheart just a mega kill streak as he also clears out FNG on the back of that fight. And again, another very successful fight for Secret. And almost just seems like frustration from VP as they try their best to fight into the lineup, and they just come out on bottom every time. And Secret, they're going to look to try and push the tier 2 now with their focus fire and the familiars, and it looks like they'll get it, because I don't think VP have anything in terms of capabilities of stopping this push.
I mean, after losing this tower, where are they supposed to farm safely? Like maybe like this one camp, and maybe they're Ancients, but their lineup isn't going to be able to have the farm to compete with Secret's lineup. Wee's already kind of getting out of control. Can already buy his Crystallis, and yeah, it's looking scary.
Indeed, and I mean, at the same time, Pilotai finding a bit of space up top, trying to be as efficient as he can with the map, and he has finished off that mech, so they're going to even have that as well for the next team fight, Secret, so even scarier for the side of VP to try and fight into. G's trying to furiously find the farm here for his BKB now on top of the SNY. And other than that, any other kind of big item progressions coming out? Illidan, okay, he's kind of halfway through the Aghanims here, so that's going to be coming out shortly for the Lina. But even with that, I mean, we've seen with Illidan, yes, he can kind of delete one hero from the fight, but just the AoE potential of Secret with Envy being on that Jara, the fact that he's got the farm that he has, up to nearly 4k gold now on top of the BKB. I just feel that they don't have the ability to kill multiple heroes. They'll kill one, but Secret will turn around and kill 3 times as many as you've taken down.
Yeah, I think during a team fight, they have to kind of interrupt the flow of Secret with the Song of the Siren. You kind of Yule's combo one guy, or Snowball punch Laguna, and then you can reset, maybe Song kill another person with Requiem, and then you can kind of take a 5v3. That's super ideal though, but I think they can still pull it off with the lineup that they have. But as you mentioned, kind of Laguna being the only huge single target capability that they have, aside from Requiems, which haven't been spot on from G.
Yeah, it's all about the Song really, and getting off a key Requiem in the middle of the fight. If they can get that Requiem out, say near the Jara, and they do get that 50% damage reduction, then suddenly, VP definitely have the potential of taking the fight. But it's all about the initiation, and we've already seen how good Puppey is at controlling these fights, making sure key heroes like the Naga can't get the spells off.
It's just hard though, like they don't have like a DS or anything to kind of keep them in place. They can kind of just disperse afterwards. Ideally you want them all kind of clumped up so you can get like multiple men charges as well as snowballs, but I don't really think that Secret have to position themselves like that. They have a BKB on Gyrocopter, they have 2 ranged cores, so the smoke will be spotted out.
I will see if they can still try and find something with it. FNG maybe being the target. Misery. It's closing in. There are a fair few heroes around here on the side of VP, but Puppey's just going to get dispelled. And Lil will just head back to lane. GTP's out as well, so it looks like Secret won't find anything with this movement, but at the same time, it's not too costly for them because they are keeping Jara just farming up in the jungle. So Envy's farm will continue, and he maintains that kind of 2k lead he has on G's SF at the moment in this game, 24 minutes in.
Ags picked up kind of good to keep the gyro down, but they have multiple cores that they need to work with, and he's kind of flirting with 1400 HP. That's a lot. 1500 on the Wind Ranger, and then combine that with like a Soul Rip and Solar Crest, and I don't really foresee them being able to take down these heroes.
Might be in trouble here. He's trying to force himself away. Turns around, just the amplifier, but Pilotai comes in with a mech. There's the crush from Misery, and Secret looking for the turn. They'll find Lil. The shackle shot from Weehog, getting the vision there from the Undying Zombies. Beautifully done. 2 kills for Secret, and VP just getting caught out of position again.
What happened to VP's teamwork that we saw yesterday? They worked so well together as a team yesterday. This game, they're just kind of getting picked off everywhere, and after losing that one team fight, they kind of just turned to the wins. Every man for himself.
I mean, this could be big. If VP can get away with this, but it's going to be hard. Misery's there. He's got the blinker straight away onto Illidan, and that is your position 1 gone. Just like that, doesn't get anything out. Phobos, he may even be in trouble as well here. Looking for the familiars, does a Puppey. He gets some bang on. The crush from Misery as well. Getting the bashes out. Phobos, he'll pop down the snowball, but it's only going to prolong the inevitable. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a step out. He's going to look for a potential deny. He traps it. Oh, no, surely not. No, not going to happen. Puppey there, finishing it off again. And we don't get to see an awful lot, but this man's Visage performance today has been absolutely on point, man.
Yeah, it really has. His gargoyle is like a 6-0 for Secret.
I mean, this has got to be worrying for VP. I mean, 6-18 at the moment in terms of the overall gold difference. It's 7.5k, so still they've got that potential always with the Naga Siren. If they can hold the game on, and they can't quite get the Nether Strike onto Weehai. He's able to get too far away. And they're going to try and fight into this one. You've actually got Weehai just chasing down Lil, going for it. Nether Strike will come out, But we are just going to turn and continue with the focus fire and just dispatch of the Spirit Breaker. Oh god, here comes the Puppey Familiars. If they get these stuns out, Misery jumps straight for onto FNG. The Shackle shot as well. There's going to be no chance for a song. Here's the controls there from Secret. FNG goes down to Misery. Is he going to go for this? I think he might. 2 seconds to the blink. Is he going to jump back in? He's got to be careful of Illidan. Does have the Yules, but they still have Weeha and Pylai around as well. So if Secret wants to stick around, try and bait some action from VP. But yeah, it looks like VP are going to play it safe. They don't really want to run head first into the side of Secret with 2 heroes off the map at the moment.
Dang, that's already a butterfly for them. They have like butterfly plus solar crest. How do they expect to take the gyro down?
I mean, even with the burst damage, as you were saying earlier, the fact that they've got Pylai with the soul rip, they've got, of course, the mech as well. I don't know how they kill E at this point unless he really, really screws up.
We just really didn't see any semblance of teamwork coming out from VP. This is kind of a desperation right before the Roche. If they win this, maybe they can turn it around, but it looks like Misery might pop it.
Oh, he does, just on the edge.
Yep, he knows.
Unfortunate smoke there. The pings come out. And they're going to be able to get the shards out. Pylai dropping the tombstone very nicely. Oh, they're going to walk straight into this cooldown. The Yules is there on Illidan to buy him some time. BKB has come out from G. And now with FNG, maybe they can set up the Requiem. Can they get the time right? No, Weeha! Oh my goodness, he blinks out. They don't get the timing right. They may see a flash. We have no Misery coming in with a multi-man crush. E just turning around with the BKB. Illidan's going to fall here almost certainly. They've got the Greaves out. Is it enough to save VP? No. Both of the cores are down. E getting soul ripped up. They just can't kill him. Soul Assumption burst down FNG. Godlike streak for Weeha. And only Phobos left to get himself out of there once again. Secret just destroying the side of Virtus.Pro.
Again, another massacre.
Oh my, and it was, even if Virtus.Pro, they get off the combo, they get off the song, again, their timing with the Requiem a little bit off, the fact that Weeha was able to blink away.
It's not only that, they overlap the BKBs with the song.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do I do now, guys? But you can kind of see what VP is going for there. It's like, okay, maybe they can catch like 2 people off, kill an important hero like Wind Ranger, maybe catch her without the buyback, and then take out the Roche. It's being a little hopeful, but that's kind of what you got to do at this point of the game when you're down to the dumps with not as strong late game as Secret. You have to take those sort of risks, but didn't work out yet again. Secret, all they need to do is stick together, keep getting vision with the birds.
Yeah, and it's been really nice all across the board here for the side of Secret. I mean, just looking at like Weeha, we were talking earlier, you know, there's a position where Shadow Fiend just had so much more farm than him, but Weeha's just been able to do so much more across the map. He hasn't died at all. He's got himself 9 kills here, 4 assists. So really bang on performance here from the Wind Ranger. And as well, we've been talking about Puppey, stunning up heroes like FNG in these fights, but of course the shackle shots from Wee as well, just making sure in a lot of situations FNG just can't save his team with the song.
Yeah, you know, you like to draft like a wombo combo-ish kind of lineup with...
Oh, this could be painful for VP. They've got the homing missile going on to G. Lil trying to go with an Everstrike. She's trying to fight. They're going to TP out here on Lil. Will they be able to make it? No, the damage is too much. G, he might even need to pop his BKB if he wants to live because they're closing in on him. Can they get the slow from the Great Shield? They can't quite get in range. Looks like G is going to be able to waltz this one off and play it safe. Misery. He's got his sights set on a bit of action towards the mid. Can he close this gap? He's going to look for it. He's got a force as well if he needs to close even closer. The net holding him back. You've got to be careful. Okay, they've got a yours. They might be able to find this turnaround kill. Maybe Misery got a little bit too greedy, but oh, the slide to the left with the 4-staff. Dodging the light strike array. He's going to have blink up and Misery's out. They can't kill him. He can get away with just running around in front of their base. 4 heroes of VP trying to do something about him. But the space is created for the bottom lane for Secret to find a tier 2, and now they might just fight. G and Phobos to come out. Gyro, it's going to get snowballed up here, but Misery's there with the crush onto G. BKB comes out from Envy. They'll dispatch of G on the Shadow Fiend. He's moving forward, trying to look for more. There's a Laguna Blade coming out to Misery, but it doesn't matter. Weeha gets the shackle onto Illidan. And again, the 2 cores of VP getting taken off the map for a good minute or so. Envy just unkillable with the Butterfly, with the Solar Crest and the BKB being dropped down onto him. And they'll just look to try and break the base now. Fortification comes out, but I don't know what VP's plan is here. They do have a song, but without the Lina and without the Shadow Fiend, they just don't have the damage output to deal with the side of Secret. And they're just incredibly far behind now, 30 minutes in.
No gas left in the tank for VP. Looks like they're done for in this game number 1. And back to their drafting board. And what went so terribly wrong for Virtus.Pro this game?
I mean, Virtus.Pro, they are kind of, you know, the CIS kind of balls to the wall. They're hit and miss, mainly more hit than miss, but this game's really been a miss for the side. But obviously, best of 3, they're going to have a chance to pick it up in the second game if they don't here. And I mean, obviously, the game isn't over yet. They've managed to find 1 set of Raxi on the bottom, so maybe VP can still turn, but they're going to have to turn around a 20K net worth lead, and that's not something that's going to be that easy at all to do.
I'm surprised Secret was managed to keep an economic advantage throughout the early game, even with FNG kind of full-time devoted to stacking and with the Radiant Shadow Fiend on the side of VP. This was like before the Ancient Stacks were taken out too, so.
We it's teeping out in front of the nose there of Lil. And I mean, Pilot Die on this and dying at the moment. He's picked up an Ogre Club. Is he just going for a BKB here himself? No. Oh, no. Oh, hello. That's a very tasty arm coming out for Puppey, in fact. Look at that. Now, with that timing as well, not bad on top of what he's been doing.
I mean, they have all the tools that they need to do to kind of get out the sleep combo, right? With BKBs, 4 staffs, and like Mech, Solar, Butterfly. They have all the defensive items that they need on top of the Aegis.
Look how much money the EE's got. Again, he's buying items straight up. That's been the second kind of late game item that he's just picked up straight from his pocket.
I remember talking to EE, and they were like, when he was back on Cloud9 and he was constantly playing versus EG, and they were talking about how like OP Gyrocopter was, but some of the teams couldn't actually use him that well.
Okay, we talked about EE maybe messing up, and this could be it. He walks into forehead, they got the control here. He gets the BKB out, doesn't matter. He's down, 76 seconds. Maybe WeHeart can try and recover this. FNG comes out with the song. They're trying to move in with the familiar stance from Puppey. In fact, there's the damage, it's gonna kill FNG. Maybe Secret can recover EE's mess up. G's gonna go down potentially. No, he gets the ult off, and now they'll just turn to WeHeart. They do still kill G. WeHeart's got the Aegis, he's gonna be back for a second round here. Pilot Eye and Puppey just trying to clean up. They'll find Phobos, they found 3. Illidan, he's in a lot of trouble as well. As this Shackle and the Crush follow up from Misery follows in. And 4 heroes down here. So, I mean, at this point, the lead that Secret have, even EE can't throw this game.
Yeah, he's like, there's a couple players that you just don't give Gyrocopter to. I'm one of them. And
GG.
Just kind of is.
GG is cool, and congratulations to Team Secret, taking game 1 here in the best of 3, and in quite a spectacular fashion as well. 33 minutes in, and 30-7.
Nice try to throw EE. Not enough.
My goodness. Wow. VP are certainly going to have to pick themselves up for the second game. I mean, just off the top of your head, anything you feel that VP needs to do
Play
different?
as a team.
Play as a team.
I think they were kind of regarded as the most Western European team that kind of resembled the Asian style.
Yeah.
But this game, they just kind of got picked apart at every phase of the game.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be able to see what they do in game 2, but for the time being, we're going to head back over to the panel to hear what they have to say about game 1 between VP and Team Secret.
Hello? Hello, hey! All right, thank you so much, Odie and Ben. We're back at the panel now here with Lumi and Winter, of course, and there you have it. Secret going to be claiming the first win on the main stage. Lumi, what do you think? Secret satisfied with that game 1?
Satisfied and maybe a little bit relieved because their early game was ugly. There was a level 2 slaughter on the offlane compared to DK Phobos level 5 on Tusk. I think at a certain point, Shadow Fiend had 3 times the amount of CS. It was like 100 to 30 something against the Windrunner. But that team fight on the bottom was how they kind of clawed their way back in the game.
Now, we look back through that team fight briefly. It was hard to see at the heat of the moment if it was credit to Puppey with the familiar stun potentially, or if it was a mistime, and it did appear to be a bit of a mistime.
Because we had that interesting music clip, somebody...
Oh, they uploaded that?
Yeah, they uploaded a clip to Oddshot, and I looked at the clip again. It was not thanks to Puppey's play. I think FNG just messed it up.
What do you think, Winter? Did the implications from that kind of force Virtus.Pro to be a bit off their groove? Because since then, they just couldn't seem to get the ball rolling.
There was also another important point into the game where after the laning phase, they remember that 5v5 early at top lane, SFTV top with Haste Rune. They placed a ward FNG placed a ward in the jungle. They saw Envy running into the lane with the call down, but they still got caught on 3 heroes. And after that, the whole momentum was gone because they gave away so much gold and experience to those heroes, which is in particular the Starlight, which was so far behind, and the Wind Ranger as well. They just got trashed in the lane so badly. But because of that fight, they actually gave away a lot of gold and experience, which allowed Secrets lineup to actually come back when they had the Tombstone and the Familiars. So I felt that was a key moment in the early game that went Secret's favor.
No, but do you think it was just a Secret put together a solid draft at that point, or was it just more that since those fights and Virtus.Pro just was not going to be able to recover, the farm just became too great, Secret became too powerful?
I think I was also agreeing with Lumi when we were talking about the game. I was very worried about Secret when they lost the early game so hard. FNG was stacking so much for the SF, and SF was wrecking the lane. But I didn't really expect them to lose the first fight there. And the other reason was also because the SF actually didn't go for the quick mag this game. He went into the SMY, and the mag duties came onto Phobos, which didn't actually come at a super early timing. That was quite surprising for me. I felt like they should have used their early lead on the SF, the net worth, to actually get an early mag. So when the first fight happens like that at top, he has the mag, and it might have actually just turned the team fight around.
You agree with that, Louis?
I definitely agree. I mean, early SMY is such a stable thing on SF, but in that stage of the game, for that 1 or 2 fights where they kind of mess up the second fight, the mech perhaps would have salvaged it and maybe even won them the fight. So I'm surprised as well with the mech. But to be fair, I think DK Phobos had such a good start up top. Maybe the team thought, all right, we're going to get a little bit of later mech, but we'll get it just in time for the major fights. But yeah.
Didn't pay off for them.
Did not pay off. It's a misgamble.
We'll have to see if Virtus.Pro are going to be able to shake off that tough Game 1 performance. But for Secret, they got to be feeling pretty good. As they go into Game 2, they're just going to be 1 win away from moving on into round 2. So we'll cut to a small break, and when we get back, it's going to be Game 2 of Virtus.Pro going against Team Secret. We'll see you soon.